They're students in electronic media and film studies. They're producers and directors, and they make television here on campus. So they're going to tell you a little bit about it right now. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're happy to be here.
Yay. All right, so yeah, as Professor Damon said, we are here to talk to you about ETV and student-produced television here at EMU. I'm Shanna.
And I'm Eliza Chase, and we just wanted to thank Professor Keith Dameron for sponsoring us and giving us the best experience here at EMU.
So among the things we're going to talk to you about today, we're going to talk a little bit about our mission at ETV. We're going to talk about the process of doing television and the phases of production in and of itself. We have some highlights to show you from some of the programs that we produce, and we'll talk a little bit about how we promote them.
ETV's mission is to serve the EMU community with news and information that happens around campus. And then it's also to showcase student skills that we learn in the classroom and outside the classroom. And then we also show off our skills on various forms of outlets that we will be talking about shortly.
Now, there are two key components to the process of producing television, and the first would be the program providers, which in our case is all students. A lot of our programs, they begin as class assignments that we're graded on. Others are what we call passion projects, which sometimes are classroom assignments that take on a life of our own, and we decide we want to keep doing them. Other times students will get an idea of their own and decide to turn it into a show.
And then the programming outlets that we have are ETV Campus Cable Channel 18, which John Rice over there runs behind the camera. And we also put our programming on YouTube and iTunes U.
Now, the first phase of production is pre-production, and as you can imagine from the name, it's largely everything that has to happen before we go into the studio and start shooting. If it's a class assignment, we get the requirements of the assignment, we figure out and plan and make sure that everything that we do is going to meet what the professor wants. Even in cases of passion projects, we have to do this just like real life. We have to decide if we need actors, props, anything on set, any transportation issues, wardrobe, whatever. In my case, I co-produce a show about hair and makeup called Beautify You, and my co-producer and I designed the set from the ground up. We found pictures of models that she had styled and cut and done their makeup, and we blew them up really huge, and that's what you see behind us as we talk to the audience.
Our next part is the production itself, and this is when everyone actually comes together to make what you've been working on actually happen. And I work on E-Weekly. I'm the director and producer for that, and we shoot remote segments where we go to the location to get the footage, and then we're also in the studio. Now, there's a lot of people involved. Like in the control room, we have the director, we have the audio person, and the teleprompter operator, and the technical director who runs the switcher, which switches the different camera angles in the studio. And then in the studio, we have our talent, who is the object of the show. And then we also have the camera operators, and then we have a floor director who tells the talent what to do and when to do it.
Now, the final part is post-production, and that's everything that we have to do to the show once we have all of our footage collected. Now, on a show like Eliza's, we use a format called live to tape. It works very similar to how your evening news works. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. It goes from the studio to the control room to a tape and then out into the world. We really don't do anything to it in terms of post-production. My show, on the other hand, we do a lot of remote segments. We have a lot of other segments in studio that either have guests or demonstrations. So we have to kind of put it all together before we can show it to everybody. And as you can see there, that's my co-producer, Deidre. She's editing a segment from our show right there. So aside from just putting images together, there's a little bit more to post-production. Sometimes we have to find additional images that support what we're saying. Sometimes we even have to put down music to make our video segments pop a little bit more. And even that can be a process in itself. We can't just use any old song that we want. We have to do a lot of research. We have to find music that is not copyright protected so we don't get in trouble for copyright infringement.
And as I mentioned earlier, ETV provides a public service to the community, and we're going to show you some clips now.
The final image there was a logo for the ETV Club. That's another way that we serve the EMU community. We've recently been officially recognized as a student organization on campus, so that's another medium in which we can come together and provide additional content for the channel while refining our skills and having a little bit of fun. The cool thing about it is that you don't have to be a major or minor in electronic media in order to join TV Club. So it's great for, say, first-year students or people who are undeclared, think they might be interested in television and want to give it a try. Now, it's not just news and documentaries at ETV. We do have a lighter side. We do a lot of programming devoted to sports and entertainment. We're going to show you some highlights from that. So once we have a finished program, we can't just put it on the channel or stick it up on the YouTube site and expect people to watch it. We have to tell people that it's there. And we still do some of the traditional methods of promotion. We'll fly around campus, maybe chalk the sidewalks in front of buildings, that kind of thing. But in recent years, social media has become very important to us in promoting ETV. So when you get a moment later on, feel free to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter.
We just want to thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we open the floor for